computer. Ooh, okay, so now we're recording. Again, I just appreciate everybody showing up. So what we expect from our PACs is just have a leader from your PAC at the leaders meetings. We have this pre-camp leaders meetings, and then we may have a couple of leaders meetings throughout the session. And then you are going to be in campsites with other PACs most of the time. So we just really expect you to respect your fellow campers and just kind of gel and get along with them during your time at camp. During program times, just help out when you can and where you can. Help us maintain the cleanliness of the shower house, the campsite, and the latrine, and any areas that you are using. Be prepared if severe weather restricts you to the dining hall. And just please carpool to camp so we just don't have as many cars on camp. All right. So after this meeting, we're going to send out a Google form, and you're going to fill out that Google form and let us know when the best time for you to check in is. After you fill out that Google form, if you do not hear anything from us, that is going to be your check-in time. If we have an issue with check-in times, we'll let you know, but otherwise, that is going to be your check-in time. So when you come up to the dining hall to check in with us, bring all of your medications, bring your health form, and then we're going to check you in. You'll also bring any payment that is needed. We're going to check you in. We're going to give you wristbands to let us know that you belong to us. We're going to give you the medical recheck. You'll have to check in with our health officer. If you have any medications, they have to be under lock and key. So if you don't have some way to lock up your medications, then the health officer will lock up medications, and they will be available at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then again at nighttime for nighttime medications, you'll stop by the administration building, or she'll be up at any event that we're having, camp-wide event. So we do not allow cars in our campsites. So we really appreciate not driving into our campsites. It makes it kind of a muddy mess.
Did you already?
We've had cars drive into our campsites, and we've had to get the tractor to get them unstuck. So we just really appreciate you parking where our staff tells you to park, and then you'll unload all of your items, and you will carry them into the campsites. And if you need help, let us know. So again, you'll be sharing a campsite with other kids from other PACs and adults. So, you know, we can't have everybody spread out across the campsites. Just try to realize that there are a lot of people going to be in each campsite. And actually, this doesn't necessarily pertain to your session because you guys are kind of a small session, so you'll have enough room in those campsites. After we check you in and you do your medical recheck, our staff are going to give you a dining hall orientation and how we run our dining hall. And they'll give you a camp tour. So they'll take you around and show you where all the activity areas are and the trading post. And then you'll be able to go back and set up all of your equipment. So Dan asked if we'll be using canvas tents or bring your own tent. Tunnel Mill doesn't have any canvas tents anymore. And actually we pulled all of them out of our old Quonset hut because we used to be a summer camp and they were really bad. The mice loved them. But it is a bring your own tent situation. We don't have any, we have a couple of those platforms left, but we don't have any canvas tents available. So possibilities for lunch on check-in day. We start feeding you on dinner of check-in day. So we will start with our staff, and our kitchen opens for dinner on Friday evening. So your lunch will be kind of on your own. You are welcome to stop by Charlestown and have lunch. They have McDonald's, they have Taco Bell, they have this cute little thing called the Copper Kettle. I think it's only open for lunch, but it's adorable. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of options in Charlestown, but down the road there are. You can also bring lunch with you and have lunch on camp or on site somewhere. All right, so I'm going to pass it over to Cody, who's going to talk about more of our programming.
Hi, I am Cody. I'm the program director. So I'm going to go over the schedule with you all so you understand. What I will say is, I know that maybe some of you all came last year to camp, and it was probably the combined session. So in the past, we've had it to where we had the Weeblos and AOL have their own session, and then the Wolves, Bears, Tigers all kind of had their own session, and then we kind of combined them for the past couple of years. Well, we're back now to where we have them as their own session. So this is just going to be mostly Tiger, Wolf, Bears. I know there will be probably a few Weeblos and AOL signed up, but the goal is to get them to go to the Weeblo AOL session that's more targeted to them and the activities they can do. So what that means is first, how we did it last year, if you came to that, it's gonna be a little bit different. Last year we allowed scouts to sign up for classes because we had Weeblos and AOLs combined. And this year we're not gonna be doing that with just the Cub session. So the Cub session is a little bit shorter. It's only 3 total days. And you guys will be rotating to areas based on where your campsite is. So what that means is that if your campsite will all go to one program area, such as art first, you might go to out of the water activities second, you might go to sports third. So it's just kind of a slow rotation to each of those as a campsite. No signups. So and then we also have other special activities that will be happening. So one is like camp bonding. We do that on the first day so we can have a leaders meeting. So keep you in the loop on everything. Another one special activity is campfires. So we have an opening campfire, and then another one's campsite activities. With that one, you really have a little bit of free time back in your campsite, but I know mostly we have a movie on Saturday night for the kids, so that's kind of something else we do that's special activities. We also in the past, and I'm going to work on trying to bring it back, although I need to make a few things happen, is on the schedule, if you look at it, it's going to say there is a staff versus parent volleyball game. So we are hopefully going to be doing that this upcoming year. It'll be the first time in about, before COVID, it's probably like 5 years we've done that. I will say our staff has never won, but this is the year. All right, so we also have on the schedule, the BSA standards require us to have 9 hours of scheduled sleep. So we do make sure we follow that, and the scouts get plenty of sleep before they start day 2, and then also plenty of sleep if they stay after the movie into Sunday morning for the last day when you guys check out. I believe that is all scheduling stuff. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can ask them. You can also wait till the end to ask them. And then Lori, to answer your question, when does registration open? Is that like, I guess, do you mean when does campfire, or not campfire, when does check-in start is probably what you're asking. And that would be at 10 a.m. So. So yeah, 10 a.m. we do hour check-ins, and that'll be on the thing on the form we send out. So 10 a.m. we'll have a check-in window, 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1, 2, and I believe 3. And then those are all of our check-in windows. You kind of just pick the one you want. All right. So moving on to some policies and procedures, I'm gonna throw it back to Chris. So she go over those.
Cody gives me all the boring stuff, but that's okay. All right, so we ask that if you are with more than one kid, that you have more than one adult, age 21 or above. We would prefer that one of them be BSA registered with that background check, youth protection, and all those fun things. So any nicotine products, including vapes, should not be used in front of any of our youth staff or youth kids. So Brandon had a question, one-on-one from your pack. Or if they're your 2 kids, that's different. You can bring your 2 kids, and you can be the one person. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you in a campsite with other people. And during a leaders meeting, we will provide adequate supervision for the kids with our staff. So any time that we need you for any sort of reason, we will bring our staff up to do some activities with our kiddos. We do have tent regulations. Males and females cannot tent together. Scouts over 2 years apart cannot tent together. Special medications and food needs. If you have medications, those do need to be locked up with our medical officer. And if you have life-saving meds, EpiPens, insulin, inhalers, you are absolutely able to carry those around with you. And then if you have any special food needs, I'm going to put my email in the group chat. If you are, gluten-free, milk-free, any of that kind of stuff, allergic to anything, please email me. I know that it's on your health form and things like that, but we're going to let our cook know. I'll forward those emails on to him and let him know before you get here, any of the specific food needs that we have. Let me type, because I can't type and talk at the same time. There we go. So there's my email. You are welcome to email me with any food allergies or concerns that you might have. Okay, so I did misspeak. If you as a parent are bringing 2 of your kids, totally fine. You don't have to have 2 people, as long as they are your own kids. Webelos work a little bit differently than the tigers, wolves, and bears. Webelos can come with their den, and Webelo leaders, as long as they have that blue training or IOLS.
It's the, I don't know.
Is that the Webelo one?
No, it's the,
It's the troop one.
yes.
Okay. So prescription medication, I thought that I had already talked about. If you have prescription medication, it needs to be in a lockbox. Our medical officer is happy to keep those. If you want to keep them, they do need to be locked in your car, or we have to physically see a lockbox. So visitors are welcome onto our camp. All you have to do is, if somebody wants to visit, just have them sign in at the administration building. It's the first building that you'll see on the right-hand side when you come into our camp. So they'll park and they'll sign in and get a wristband so that we know that they belong to us. And then they'll sign out on their way out so that we know that they're gone. And this is just important for safety reasons so that we know that they belong here. But other than that, just when we have emergency drills or emergency procedures, or if something happens, we know who's supposed to be on our camp. So no liquid fuels are permitted on camp. So please, don't bring any of the, what's it called?
Butane.
Butane. That's fun stuff. Okay. Let's see. Do you have anything you want to say yet? Okay. So creek policies, this year we're working a little bit differently with our creek. Normally we ask you to stay out of the creek just for safety reasons, but this year we are actually putting our kids in the creek. So our lifeguards, our aquatics director, they have been preparing to have program without a pool. And we have an old dam area for the historic John Works house. And the kids have really had a good time playing in the creek. So we're calling it a creek walk. Honestly, the water, as long as it doesn't super rain, is really only up to maybe their knees if they're short. So they're walking around, they're exploring the creek. It's been a really fun time. And so just know that, we don't have a pool, but the creek walk has been really a popular addition to our program this year, from day camp to Webelo camp. So early release, if we have to release a kid to a different person than their parent, we have to have that on file, and then we will check identification and the health form to make sure that we're releasing kiddos with a person that is approved. We do have a lot of emergency procedures in place, and we have practiced our emergency procedures. We've had drills, and we may have to and we just ask that during the session, if we do have to have emergency procedures implemented, that you follow the staff and what they're doing. They've been practicing for this. So the uniform for camp is a t-shirt that we're gonna give you. You can wear it anytime that you would like during the weekend. Do we ask them to wear uniforms?
We
Or-
request, but
Okay.
if they have it, they have it. They don't, that's okay.
Okay, so we request that you wear your field uniform during our closing flag ceremony and our closing flags and closing campfire ceremony.
We don't
Would-
close the campfire for Cubs.
Oh, I'm
Just
so
movie.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to flip this over to Cody because he knows more about the uniform. Dan, there is no swim test because the water is this deep. And we don't do swim tests in our creek because we don't technically swim in our creek. Are we doing boating at all? Okay, so correct, there is no swim test.
All right, and then just to go over the uniforms, we just ask if you do have your activity versus field, but that is real quick. Activity uniform is kind of what I have on right now. Field uniform. Luckily, I just have mine on. It looks kind of something like this, right? So it's your like actual uniform. Yours is probably blue or tan. So that's a field, or sorry, that's field uniform. And for that one, we just request if you have it to bring it. If you don't, that is okay as well. So sorry, where was I? Yeah, so we asked if you do have that. We're going to have it for flags. I edited this slideshow from the old one that we used for the last session. So I forgot to take off the campfire part. So we aren't going to be having day 3 evening flags. We'll have it for day 2 evening flags. So if you have uniform, bring it to that. But we aren't going to have a closing campfire as well. We have the movie instead. All right.
Okay. So, oh, whoa. All right, so I'm gonna go to some of the questions that we have. Let's see. So the trip is for next weekend. We will start checking people in on Friday. If your son is a Webelow, if your son is a Webelow, we will have some activities for Webelows. And
If you want me to talk about it, I can as well.
yeah, I'll have Cody talk about that. But what happened to the pool? So I was trying to think of something witty and I'm just too hot. I'm sorry. So anyway, our $20,000 problem with our filters turned into a $400,000 problem. We don't have just a regular pool like your backyard pool. We have a commercial pool.
All right.
We have to have it health department inspected every day. Not every day. I'm so sorry,
Every
you
year.
guys. Every year we have a health department inspection. Now with our inspection, we have to upgrade our filter to 1 large filter. We have to upgrade our pump to 1 large pump instead of 3. We have to put in new skimmers. And with the new skimmers, we have to upgrade our decking to the current building standards, which are not the standards that were back in 1960 whatever when the pool was built. So as bummed as we were about the pool in May when we found out it was closing, I just really think that the kids have enjoyed so much being in the creek and doing other water activities. I have not heard really one complaint about anybody who's done aquatics over, we had a week of day camp and we're into programming for Weeblo Resident Camp. So, you know, I don't want anybody to be really upset about the pool. I know that it sounds upsetting. And you know, the creeks are super fun. And then checkout on Sunday is around
It's usually Sunday morning, right after breakfast.
right after breakfast. So it's around 9:30. But you can check out. We'll give you time after breakfast to go up to your campsite.
And then also, if you do, we do have an option if you want to check out Saturday night after the movie, that's fine too. I know for the camp that's happening right now, a lot of people will check out after our closing campfire. It's kind of up to you, whatever works best for your schedule. But I know Sunday morning, usually after breakfast, about 9 a.m. is whenever we start asking you guys to go and start packing your stuff up. And then answer your question. Sorry, Amy. So yeah, this is for all Cub Scouts. So from Tiger all the way up until AOL. This session that we have right now, a lot of the activities we have are more organized for Weeblos and AOLs. So we have things like pellet guns that they're shooting, or they're doing boating. So those are two activities that are more designed for AOL and Weeblos. This upcoming camp, although we will be doing activities for all Cub Scouts, we'll be doing like BB guns instead, which BB guns we tend to try to do more for tigers, wolves, and bears. So AOL's Weeblos can 100% go, and I do think it'll still be fun, but it does not matter at all. 100% you can still go. It's just this session is designed more for the Weeblo AOL type. And are there actually classes Friday? No. So Friday you get here, we do check-in, walk through the tour. We do some camp bonding, so we'll have all the kids in the campsite get to start knowing each other a little bit while we have a leaders meeting. We'll have some chapel. So there's a little bit of program. We'll have a flags, and then we'll have an opening campfire. So we still have some kind of program going on Friday when you all check in, but classes will be only on Saturday all day. And I'm going to flip it back over to Chris. I actually have to go to move on to our next thing for camp. If you guys have any questions related to the program that Chris can't answer, doesn't know, or if you remember it later, feel free to email us and then we can get those answered. I'm going to pass this off.
All right, so Lori, we are actually going to send out a packing list with a follow-up email. We have a packing list, and we'll have the Google form for you to fill out to let us know what time you're coming. You do not need any type of cooking equipment. You will need your Dan, I will let you know about the creek on Friday. But we will we'll send you another email that has like packing lists, the leader's guide, and things like that as well. You guys are welcome to oh yeah, new leaders. So I was just talking to our and you guys are welcome to unmute and let me stop sharing. So you're welcome to unmute and just ask questions if you would like. So
hey, I wanted to say, since you gave us that invitation, and I've asked several questions in the chat, thank you guys. This is really helpful. So
yeah, no
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We were talking, we actually had the executive board out here this afternoon. They were doing their board meeting, and you know, we're really with this camp trying to help new leaders, even leaders that might be transitioning from one stage to the next. So we're really honed in on our leaders. We want to give our kids a good time, and we want to have amazing programs for them too. But there are several of us here that have been through this process 1 or 2 or 3 times. So we're here for new leaders and to ask questions. And we really tried to make ourselves available, especially for the leaderships and the parents, to be more comfortable in their scouting role. Anything else?
Yeah, thank you. This has been super helpful. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, I mean, it does sound like we're going to have classes pretty much all day Saturday. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have our program running all day Saturday. And you guys can do as many or as little of those. Our Weeblo schedule, they actually we're very much trying to make that program a link between day camp where we tell you where to be and, you know, what time and all that. And the difference between summer camp where they get to pick all of their activities. So our Webelos get to pick all of their activities, but it's a smaller scale. And you know, it's been a learning experience for them, and it's been fun. So with our Cubs, we don't really tell you where to be and when necessarily. You guys get to go and do some fun stuff kind of at your leisure. So I think it's nice because it's not too, oh, you have to be here at this time for most things. All right, if there are no other questions, that is the conclusion of our meeting. So I'll stick around for a few minutes if anybody has any questions specifically that you would like to ask, not in the group. But other than that, we look forward to seeing you guys on Friday.
Hey, I know I've taken the training as a leader, but I just want to confirm if I have a Weeblo and a bear, I mean, I can, and one boy and one girl, we can share a tent because they're my kids, right?
Yes. Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, in Webelow camp, we are trying to encourage them to sleep in their own tents as a group, just because that's what they'll be doing in the troop level. So we're really trying to encourage the leaders and adults to let the kiddos sleep in their own tent. But for our smaller guys, we absolutely know that they're not ready for that yet.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no
Appreciate it.
problem. Yep. All right, so I'm gonna,
Nope, just
ahead.
saying thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You all have my email, and we'll be sending out another email soon, either later tonight or tomorrow morning. And we will see you next week.